Right now at 5:30, after a pack of dogs mauled a woman in Lincoln County, the county attorney is trying to make pet ordinances more tough.
Also on WKYT this morning, the hearing for a Lexington mother accused of killing her son by giving him too much vinegar continues today.
And a deal from city officials to Lexington developer Dudley Webb regarding the Centerpoint project expires today.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning. It's so nice to have you with us on WKYT on your Wednesday. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Rebecca Smith. A little bit of action on the weather front today and especially tomorrow.
Yeah, it'll be starting this evening, it sounds like. Let's go to WKYT meteorologist Micah Harris. This is a first alert severe weather day to keep you informed about possible flooding.
Yeah, and that's the main issue is flooding. And we're going to be watching that. Remember, the flash flood watch doesn't go into effect now. It's actually this evening off into tomorrow night. So we do have some time before we start to see the heaviest rain move on in. But everybody under that flash flood watch, as you look on First Alert Defender live radar, nothing going on this morning. And as I was just saying, you got to wait late in the day to actually see those storms spark up. Temperatures are there in the 60s. Pretty good feel this morning. Today's forecast, we're in toward the afternoon at 86. This is where we have been, mid to upper 80s past few days. Few storms here and there, but the bulk of it comes tomorrow. And I'll show you who's going to be seeing rain and how much in just a few minutes.
We begin right now with a breaking news alert. Police are on the scene of a standoff in Jessamine County, and we do understand that the 5-hour-long standoff has ended just minutes ago.
The scene is on Handy's Bend Road, that is south of Wilmore. We've learned that the standoff started around midnight. Handy's Bend Road was shut down between midnight and about 5 o'clock this morning. No one was injured in all of this. One person has just been taken into custody. We're gathering more information about the situation. We'll bring it to you as soon as it's available to us. And happening today, the time period for Lexington developer Dudley Webb to reach a deal with an investor will expire.
Dudley Webb is the developer behind the long-stalled Centerpoint project at the center of downtown Lexington, which has pretty much just been a big hole. City officials gave him 90 days to reach a deal with an unknown investor to revive the project. WKYT's Michelle Chamberlain joins us from the live desk. Good morning, Michelle.
Good morning, Rebecca. Yeah, today we're asking Lexington city leaders for an update on Centerpoint. And as you said, today is the 90th day. The project in downtown Lexington has been surrounded by controversy since it began in 2008, and an entire city block was leveled to make room for a hotel high-rise that was planned to be completed by the fall of 2010. Fast forward over 4 years later, and in April, the city demanded that Webb fill in the block. After threats of legal action, the city backed off and gave Webb 90 days to work with the development group. Lexington Mayor Jim Gray said he cannot talk where negotiations go from here until the 90-day period is up. Webb has previously said that there's work going on behind the scenes to continue forward with the project. Webb has admitted that he's disappointed it has taken so long. Webb also told WKYT that he has no other comment during this 90-day period, that he's been working with possible financial prospects. At the live desk, Michelle Chamberlain, WKYT.
All right, thanks so much, Michelle. We're checking a crime alert in Lexington this morning. Police are still searching for a robber who held up a hotel at gunpoint. Lexington police were called to the Sleep Inn on Plotted Place around 10 last night. Police say a woman walked in, showed a gun, and demanded money. They are still looking for her. Police do have a limited description, but they say she was wearing a dark hoodie and pink flip-flops. They say this robbery is similar to one at the Comfort Inn off Winchester Road early yesterday morning.
Rolling up on 5:34 now on WKYT this morning, and a brutal attack involving a pack of dogs could lead to some changes in Lincoln County. The county attorney there is telling us that he wants to make the county's dog ordinance tougher. It comes a little more than a week after a woman was attacked by 7 dogs outside of her home. The attorney is now calling for stronger kennels and a limit placed on how many dogs of a particular breed that people are allowed to own. He hopes it will cut down on attacks.
We are not going that step right now, although a lot of cities and some counties in Kentucky have. We're not outlawing those dogs. What we're saying is you can have them, but we have a duty to make sure that every citizen of the county is safe.
Day is hoping to have the ordinance drafted in a way that it will be ready to be voted on by mid-September. It would have to pass 2 readings in the local fiscal court.
A hearing continues this morning in the case of a mother accused of killing her son by giving him too much vinegar. Lexington police charged Dia Adams with reckless homicide. Her son, Joseph, died in 2011. He was 5 years old at the time. He was born with an intestinal disease. The defense is trying to block the testimony from the medical examiner who performed Joseph's autopsy. She thinks bruises and cuts on the boy's body points to the mother forcing him to drink 2 or more doses of vinegar even after he started to fight back in his condition. The defense argues that vinegar did not cause the boy's death. Well, the Department of Justice revealed yesterday the number of prison inmates dying in confinement went up for the 3rd year in a row for deaths from non-natural causes like suicide and drug overdose.
And Ouija Jang is reporting now from Richmond, Virginia, where 3 inmates recently died.
3 weeks ago, Roy Osby and Mamie McLeod were strangers until tragedy brought them together.
You know, this happened to both of us at the same time.
Their grandsons were 2 of 3 inmates who died in a 72-hour period while detained at Richmond City Jail in Virginia last month.
Something is going on there and that's not right.
Their cases highlight a Department of Justice report that says the number of inmate deaths has surged at local jails and state prisons nationwide. The Richmond sheriff oversees the jail.
We are prepared to go in this investigation to go forward with wherever it may turn.
All 50 states reported at least 1 prisoner death in 2013. Nearly a quarter of the deaths occurred in California and Texas. Tuesday in Houston, the family of Sandra Bland filed a wrongful death lawsuit against police after the 28-year-old was found dead in her jail cell.
We don't have a level of confidence that the investigation is being looked at through a clear lens.
Neither do these 2 grandparents, but the families are convinced the men died because they were neglected behind bars. Ouija Jang, CBS News, Richmond, Virginia.
And here in Kentucky, over the past 2 months, we have seen several inmates die while in jail or in prison. Just last month, an inmate died from health-related issues at the Harlan County Detention Center. In Elliott County, back in May, an inmate died when he was assaulted by another. 2 inmates died within days of each other at the Fayette County Jail in April. And just 2 days ago, a lawsuit was filed over the death of an inmate in Jessamine County last year who died when given methadone by another inmate.
Well, in your national news this morning, we're tracking a health alert in Alabama where a patient is being monitored after displaying Ebola-like symptoms. Our sister station in Birmingham is reporting that 2 family members of that patient are in isolation right now. The patient was under monitoring after recently visiting an African country with active Ebola cases. 6 firefighters that responded to the call have been isolated and have undergone decontamination.
Today marks the 5th year since a disaster that turned into a miracle. On August 5th, 2010, a mine collapse in Chile trapped 33 miners more than 2,000 feet underground. The ordeal caught worldwide attention. They were all pulled out alive after 69 days. More than 1 billion people watched the rescue on TV. More than 2 months later, an audience about 10 times bigger than that of the Super Bowl.
It was amazing. Well, Netflix has unveiled a new family-friendly plan for its employees. The company announced a new policy that would offer new mothers and fathers unlimited leave during the first year after the birth of a child or an adoption. Tech experts say it's all about competition between tech companies to recruit and keep quality employees. Paid maternity leave is still not mandated in the U.S. Well, you've heard of Take Your Child to Work Day, but what if you could take your baby to work whenever you wanted? That's a new idea proposed by the Department of Health in Washington State. They have a new policy saying moms can bring their babies to work from the age of 6 weeks through 6 months. Wow. There are some regulations, however, including the mother has to get approval from coworkers first. But one mom says that wasn't a problem.
The benefits extended to them as well. It was really funny to see different personalities come out. The people I thought would have the biggest problems with it ended up being the biggest softies.
Well, the mother must also be a permanent employer and must have a backup babysitter in case of emergencies.
We have an update on a Jessamine County puppy found starving outside of an apartment complex, and it's an improved situation now. Jessamine County Animal Care and Control says the puppy has gained 5 pounds since she was rescued last week. This is a new picture of her doing much better. Animal Care and Control says she is doing considerably better now. The puppy is at an animal shelter's care at the moment. Animal Care and Control says they are still looking for her owner. With a new season just a couple of weeks away, some people in Pulaski County are worried that 2 high school football fields won't be ready in time. Both Pulaski County High School and Southwestern High School were supposed to get artificial turf surfaces, but the school board decided against that in May, saying the money needed to be spent on other projects. Instead, school leaders decided to install sod on both fields. But some people at Southwestern are worried because the sod has to take root by August 21st. Pulaski County High School has more time. Its first game isn't until September 11th at home.
Later today in Corbin, this weekend marks the opening weekend of the Nimbrock Festival, and everyone is kicking off the festivities early. Sanders Park, the city's newest tourism attraction, will be dedicated today. In addition, park managers will unveil a special statue of Colonel Sanders. And of course, everybody knows who that is, the founder of Kentucky Fried Chicken. If you want to attend, that'll be late this afternoon at 5:30 at the park.
And the reason being that Colonel Sanders started his first restaurant there in Corbin. All right, time this morning is 5:40, and let's check live drive traffic on your Wednesday and see what's going on with a look outside right now. I will look at the Waze map first off, and it's a clear commute.
Looks pretty good.
Yeah, no reports of any major problems or delays. Be ready for that rain possibly with us by the time you are through with work later on today. A lot more news coming up on WKYT on your Wednesday morning.
Triple Crown winner American Pharoah has earned a special honor. We'll tell you more in 5.
I'm excited to see Pharoah come over here for Keeneland later on this year. And look, as we get into the next few hours, we'll start to see that sunrise. It actually looks like a pretty good day, but then it changes later on in the afternoon, off into the evening. I'll show you that coming up next.